All right, last activity. The moment you've all been waiting for, I'm sure. Um, we're kind of coupling a couple things together here that we've done. Coupling a couple things. We have a point to plot and put on our graph, and we have to figure out what quadrant it was. So, as a reminder, we are going to look really quick at what our quadrants are. Quadrants has that quad in there, that means 4. We're talking about our graph here. There are 4 sections. There is quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and we have quadrant 4. And these are all Roman numerals. That's why they look ridiculous like that. I don't know why we use them, guys. Don't yell at me. I didn't come up with the math rules. I just show them to you. Okay. Anyway, so in quadrant 1, our x is positive and our y is positive. When we go over to quadrant 2, if you follow the number line here in the x-axis, right, you see all those numbers get negative, so we know that we have to have a negative x. But since we're going up, we have a positive y. So if you see a point that is a negative x and a positive y, you know that it's in quadrant number 2. If we move over to quadrant 3, we see, again, we go across to the left, so we know x is negative. And for this one, we also see that we're moving down the graph, so our y would also be negative, so a double negative. If both numbers in your ordered pair are negative, that's how you know it's in quadrant 3. Whoops, that was ugly. And in quadrant 4, we go across to the right, so x would be positive, but we're moving down, so y would be negative. Okay. For this one, we have -6 and -7. I know that I have a negative x, and I know that I have a negative y. The only one that matches that criteria there is quadrant 3. So I know my point is going to be somewhere in quadrant 3. So now I go over, I go 6 units to my left and 7 down. Okay. Oh, I lost my third. Oh, now it's back. Well, that's weird. Okay. At any rate, we've plotted our point on the graph. I'm choosing quadrant 3, and I'm submitting. And that's easy enough. Let's see, they'll back us up here. It's really all it is. Nothing too crazy here. So we can do one more. We're going to pick a different new problem because that's an easy one. I want us to think a little bit. Come on, Delta Math. All right, that's better. So, again, I remember I'm in quadrant 1. Positive, positive. Oops, those kind of blended. Quadrant 2. Quadrant 3. And quadrant 4. So, quadrant 1, I have positive, positive. Quadrant 2, I have negative x, positive y. Quadrant 3, I have negative x and negative y. Quadrant 4, I have positive x and negative y. So I look at the point they give me. I have a negative 3 and I have a 5, which means that I have a negative x and I have a positive y. When I look, the only way that that works is if that point is in quadrant 2. So now I go to enter in my answer here. I go negative 3 across and 5 up. And I choose quadrant 2. And I submit. And look at that. We got it right again. So that's it. That's the end of the unit. Hopefully you guys have been doing some good work. And, we'll talk about all this stuff when I get back.